Hello students, today we are going to start the second part of our unit, that is the work, power and energy. In the first part we have done about the work done. In this video we are going to cover energy. Some part of energy, some part we will cover in the second part and some will be covered in the third part. Now we are going to start with energy. What is energy? Whenever we are going to talk about the energy, means we are going to discuss about the task that you are going to do. If you are able to do more work, then you are more energetic. If you are able to do less work, then you are less energetic. Means energy is the physical quantity that is deciding the amount of work that you have did. So energy can be defined as energy is the capacity of an object or capacity of an body to do work. The capacity to do work is called the energy. Now energy, SI unit of energy is joule. SI unit of energy is the joule, and in the CGS system it is erg. In the CGS system energy is measured in erg, and in SI system the energy is measured in joules. Next one, what is the dimensional formula for the energy? Dimension, whenever you are going to calculate the energy, you are going to calculate the work done by the object. If I am saying that you are more energetic, then I will note how much work you have done in comparison to your colleague, in comparison to your friend. Means whenever we are going to calculate energy, we are going to calculate the work done. So the dimensional formula of energy will be same as that of the work done, and work done is given by force into displacement. So the dimensional formula of energy will be equal to the dimensional formula of the force, that is m1 n1 t minus 2 into l1. L1 is the distance. From here, dimensional formula of energy will be m1 l2 t minus 2. So this is a dimensional formula for the energy. Now energies are of different types: potential energy, kinetic energy, nuclear energy. Whichever energy you are going to consider, the unit will be same. Every energy is going to measured in joules, and the dimensional formula of each and every energy is the same, that is m1 l2 t minus 2. Clear? Now next come to the types of energy. How many types of energy are there? You are going to study. There are the different types of the energies. For example, you are talking about the nuclear energy, you are talking about the electrical energy, you are talking about potential energy, you are talking about kinetic energy. But in our chapter, in our syllabus, the main energies those we are going to discuss is the kinetic energy and the potential energy. Now first we come to the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is present in the body that is in motion, or the energy that is stored in an object due to motion. That energy is called the kinetic energy. The energy which is stored in a body by virtue of its motion, that energy is called kinetic energy. Energy stored due to motion. The energy stored in object due to motion of the object is called the kinetic energy. Clear? Now kinetic energy, there are the number of examples. A moving car has a kinetic energy. Whenever you are going to play football, and you are going to kick the football, in that case the energy that is in the moving football, that is kinetic energy. There are the different examples of the kinetic energy you can consider from daily life. Now next we are going to derive the expression for kinetic energy. Expression for kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy stored in object due to its motion. Now for that, let us suppose this expression is the same that we have done in the 9th class in the work energy chapter. This is the block having the mass m. We have a block having mass m. Initially, let us suppose it is placed at point A, and we have applied some force. We have applied some force, and let us suppose it is going to move at position B. It is going to move at a position B such that from point A to B or from position A to B, it has covered the displacement, that is S. Now if A is the acceleration, because we have applied some force, whenever the force is acting on the object, there will be some acceleration. Now let us suppose initially object at point A is at rest, means u is equal to 0. Initially the object is at rest, it means the initial velocity is 0. We have applied some force, it has covered some displacement. Now I am going to calculate the final velocity by using the equation of motion, that is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. From here you are going to calculate v square is equal to 2as, because u is 0, u square will be 0. From here you can calculate the value of s, v square upon 2a, equation number 1. Now I have calculated the force by displacement. This is the displacement covered by the body that is moved from point A to B such that the acceleration produced in the body is A. Now if m is the mass, of object, in that case according to the Newton's law, force will be mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Now this is the equation number 2. Now whenever we are going to define energy, we are talking about the work done. Means here some work is done, that we are going to calculate. Work done will be force into displacement. We have learned in the first part, work done is calculated by force into displacement. So work done will be equal to, put the value of the displacement and the force, mass acceleration into s, that is v square upon 2a. A goes with a. From here you are going to get work done is equal to 1 by 2 m a square. Now this work done is stored as the kinetic energy. From here kinetic energy will be equal to 1 by 2 m, here is the v square, 1 by 2 m v square. This is the expression for the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy is given by 1 by 2 m v square. Clear? So kinetic energy is given by the kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m v square, or you can say that kinetic energy is the amount of work done that is required to produce an acceleration A or change the velocity or change the speed of the object from 0 to v. Clear? This is the physical significance of kinetic energy. Now let's come to the units of kinetic energy. I have already explained what type of energy you are going to consider. The unit of energy will be joule in SI system and it will be erg in the CGS system. Now there is another unit of the energy that we are going to discuss, that is electron volt. Unit of energy we are going to specially define electron volt. 1 electron volt or the electron volt. Whenever you have seen the written this term EV, it means electron volt. Electron volt is basically the unit of energy. Electron volt is the unit of energy. Now we are going to define 1 electron volt. 1 electron volt we are going to define. For that I am going to consider the expression work done is equal to Q into V. You have done in the 10th class. Potential is equal to work done per unit charge Q. From here work done will be Q into V. And I have told you, whenever you are going to talk about the energy, you are talking about work done. So work done, it can be also called the energy. So it will be 1 electron volt if 1 coulomb of charge into 1 volt. Means if 1 coulomb of charge is flowing from one end of the conductor to another end of conductor, under the potential of 1 volt, the energy that is required there, that is called the 1 electron volt. Electron volt is the unit of energy, and whenever you are going to define the 1 electron volt is equal to 1 coulomb into 1 volt. So whenever the 1 coulomb of charge is flowing and we have applied a potential difference of 1 volt, the energy that is present in the circuit, you can say that is called the 1 electron volt. Clear? Now next topic is the work energy theorem. Firstly calculate the relationship between the 1 electron volt and joule. 1 electron volt and joule. 1 electron volt is the 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 joule. This is the relation between the 1 electron volt and joule. 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joule. Now next come to the next topic, that is the work energy theorem. We are going to discuss work energy theorem. Work energy theorem is the most important theorem. Firstly, we will derive this theorem, then we will define the work energy theorem. Now in this case, let us suppose m is the mass of object. Again I am going to consider the same diagram that we have done in the last article. Let us suppose object of mass m initially at point A and finally it will reach at point B after applying the force F, such that A is the acceleration produced in the object. So force will be equal to mass into acceleration. Force acting is the mass into acceleration. Name equation number 1. Let us suppose object covers displacement s from point A to B. So if u is the initial velocity, and v is final velocity, by using the relation v square minus u square is equal to 2as. From here calculate the value of s. S will be equal to v square minus u square upon 2a. Now next calculate the work done. Work done W will be equal to force into distance. So work done is equal to force is the ma into acceleration, that is displacement v square minus u square upon 2a. A goes with a. From here you are left with 1 by 2m v square minus 1 by 2m u square. Okay. So this is the final kinetic energy. This is initial kinetic energy. Work done is equal to kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. Okay. So in this way the work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. This is the statement of the work energy theorem. What is the statement of work energy theorem? According to work energy theorem, work done is equal to change in kinetic energy of an object. Whenever you are going to do some work, it will be equal to the change in kinetic energy of an object. So this is the work energy theorem. Now next one is we are going to make a discussion on the work energy theorem, or you can say that we are going to find what is the importance of the work energy theorem, or what is the conclusion of the work energy theorem. Now by using the work energy theorem, we are going to explain the positive, negative and zero work done. We are going to explain positive, negative and zero work done. So for this discussion, next one is the discussion of work energy theorem. Now first one is the work done, zero work done. When the work is said to be zero, work is zero. Work zero means 1 by 2, or you can say that kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial is equal to 0. Okay, or kinetic energy final will be equal to kinetic energy initial. Means if there is the no change in the kinetic energy of the object, the work done will be 0. Whenever there is no change in the kinetic energy of the object, in that case work done will be 0. In the second case we are going to consider work done is positive. Positive means kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial is greater than 0. Okay, or you can say that 1 by 2 mv square is greater than 1 by 2 mu square. I have put the value of the final kinetic energy and initial kinetic energy. And 1 by 2 m goes with 1 by 2 m. You are left with v square greater than u square, or v is greater than u. Means if you have applied some force and there is the increase in the velocity, or you can say that there is increase in the kinetic energy of the object, in that case work done is said to be positive. Third case, work done negative. When we are saying that work done is negative, work done will be negative if I am going to start from here, 1 by 2 mv square is less than 1 by 2 mu square, or the final kinetic energy is less than initial kinetic energy, or you can say that v is less than u. Means if you have applied some force and its velocity or speed is going to be decreased, in that case work done will be negative. So these are the some important points that we have done on the basis of the work energy theorem. We have find the conditions for the 0, positive and negative work done in terms of the energy or in terms of the velocity. And the next is we are going to find the relation between the kinetic energy and linear momentum. Next one is the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. Relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. Very easy. We are going to start from the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 m v square. Now on the right hand side, multiply by m and divide by m. So kinetic energy will be equal to 1 by 2 m v square into m by m. From here, kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 mv whole square upon m. Clear? So kinetic energy, now all of you knows that m into v is called a p, that is the linear momentum. We have done in the unit number 3rd, that is the laws of motion. Kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m because p is equal to mv. From here, kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m, or p is equal to 2 times 2m times kinetic energy under root. So this is the relation between the kinetic energy and linear momentum. Clear? Next we are going to find the relationship between the force and kinetic energy. Next one is the relation between force and kinetic energy. Relation between force and kinetic energy. I am going to start from the work energy theorem. Work energy theorem के अकॉर्डिंग क्या था आपके पास? Work done is equal to change in the kinetic energy mu square. Now write down the formula for the work done. It will be force into displacement, that is equal to 1 by 2 mv square minus 1 by 2 m u square. From here, force will be equal to 1 by 2 m v square minus 1 by 2 m u square upon s. This is the relationship between the force and kinetic energy. Force is equal to the change in kinetic energy per unit distance. Clear?